Welcome back, creators! Let's jump into today's project. Today we will be seeing a massive coal plant I built and how I applied the logistic concepts we reviewed on my latest crash course. Hold on tight, we're about to take a ride that's faster than an MK5 conveyor belt on Red Bull. And off we go! It's like a roller coaster, minus the safety regulations. I really enjoyed this ride. Not only is an effective means of transportation, but we also get to see all the factories I built on this zone. This was my first coal power plant. But there's nothing worth mentioning here, so let's keep going to get to the real deal. Here we are, coal generators. Because nothing says sustainable energy like burning ancient fossils. Let's first take a quick tour on the outside to appreciate the debatable aesthetics I went for. I think that simply concrete mixed with metal would look better, but the only way to realize that is first building something that doesn't look as good. Almost everything you see here was made by blueprints, which make the building phase easier and more straightforward. So, let's get inside and see what we are dealing with. But before, a quick notice to the canal that's underneath. Cool design, huh? Here we are. At this point in time, I had already learned about Lumen and how to activate it. That's why you can see lights everywhere. Even the posts that sustain the lights have lights. Over here, my usual summary sign, with the inputs, the consumption, and the net power gain. And here are the fart balloons. Trust me, I've tried everything. Chainsaws, explosives, kind words. But they are here to stay, so I was forced to build around them. Even had to cut a hole in the ceiling for this guy to pop out. And, as I'm not a monster, they still have access to water. We wouldn't want dried fart balloons on our power plant after all. Over the walls, I combined concrete and grip metal ramps to give it an industrial look. Wish I thought about that when I was doing the exterior. I'd like to say this build was carefully planned, but honestly, I just kept adding stuff until it looked dope. I still hadn't mastered the art of lighting up logistics levels, so the hydraulics rooms are still quite dark. Nevertheless, there's not much to see here, just some pipes. Well, let's now start talking dirty. Logistics. Okay, so how do we start? Our input are two MK4 lines at full capacity, and we have 20 coal generators on each side. So my first step was dividing all of these into segments. We have 5 segments, each one of them with 4 coal generators. So let's focus on one of them. We have 4 coal generators, and 4 is a really easy number to divide in a perfect load balancer. So that's what I did. This is our main line that gets split into 2, left and right. And then immediately there's another splitter that divides into the 2 coal generators and this one into those 2 coal generators. What's the good thing about load balancing? As it doesn't have any startup time, we can now consider these 4 machines as if it was only one, a super duper cold generator. So in this case, the input will be 24 times 4, 96 cold per minute. The internal buffer is going to be 100 times 4, 400 cold. And the generation will be, where's the generation? Over here, 120 megawatts times 4, 480. So that's, from now on, that will be one machine. So in the end, instead of having 20, we now have 5, which really simplifies everything. So how did I connect these 5 machines? Well, using smart manifolds. We can see that at the beginning we have a smart splitter sending everything to the first one and the overflow continuing. Over here another smart splitter sending everything to the left and then it continues. And so on. This would be the last smart splitter. No, this one is the last smart splitter. And there we go. So instead of having 20 machines, we have only 5. And we are combining load balancing with smart manifolds. So let's get to the fun part, doing math. Our first super duper cold generator will be receiving 480 cold per minute, but it will be consuming 96. That gives us 384 of overflow. So if we do 400 divided 384, it means that the first one will be done in 1.04 minutes. The second one will be receiving 384, but it will be consuming 96. So that's an overflow of 288. So if we do 200 divided by 288, the second one will take 1.38 minutes. Then the third one, we will continue this, 288 minus the 96 that it consumes. It means that it will be overflowing at 192. And as our buffer is of 400 divided 192 means that it will take 2 minutes 0.08 to fill up. And then we get to the last one that will be receiving 192. As it consumes 96, the overflow will be only of 96. So if we do 400 divided 96, that means that the last one will take 4.16 minutes to overflow. So our total startup time will be 1.04 plus 1.38 plus 2.08 plus 4 and 16. 8.66 minutes. That's actually pretty fast. And the fun fact is that while doing my logistics videos, I realized that you don't have to place a smart splitter at the end. Why is that? In this moment in the line, we're receiving enough materials for 2 super duper cold generators. So there's no need to use a smart splitter. If this was a regular splitter, it would be load balancing these two, sending half over here and half over here, meaning that the last one that took 4 minutes and 16, it's not necessary, and we could do even a faster system if we change this for a regular splitter. It will remain being 466 minus 416, 4.5 minutes. That's, at least by my standards, really fast. So we could actually do it. There we go. I improved 4 minutes on this cold plant. And I've run the numbers to see how would this behave if we placed only a smart manifold and we did it divided with load balancers. And these are the numbers. As you can see, it would take 14 with 78 minutes or 10.61 if we replace the last one with a splitter. So we end up having a system that's around 40% faster. I know that most people would say, well, there's not much difference between 14 minutes or 8 minutes, but well, that's how I like to play the game. All of the machines working at 100% and try to think of ways of making it as fast as possible. And in the end, if we analyze the logistic, this is really easy to build and doesn't consume much space. As a matter of fact, all of this load balancing takes the same amount of space as a regular manifold. And we only had to add a couple of smart splitters and we got a really fast system. So, well, that's my power plant. I hope you guys enjoyed it and enjoyed the logistics of combining two different topologies to make something easy to build and fast to start up. See you on the next one!